What got me into sports cars? Well, it goes back to a very young age, like all boys, fast car goes vroom vroom, and then it developed and it moved into teenager age with magazines and tuning magazines under the school table while listening to class with friends. And then, of course, some of my older friends already had their car license and they had cars and they were tuning, because in Greece, the tuning car scene is quite a big thing. So then this is how I got drawn into it. Then I got my first car, I tuned it as well, I raced it, both on and off track. And then this is how my life evolved and how it is until now. And why are we filming next to this Mazda RX-7 FD is because this is my own personal car, which I have since a few years now. It has replaced a Honda S2000, which I had before, which was heavily modified for track use, and which is kind of what made me famous in the car scene. There is a video in YouTube somewhere around, which has around 1.3 million views, which is a lap around Nordschleife. And yeah, after that S2000, it was time when we moved from Greece to the bigger tracks here in Europe. This is the continuation of the Honda, and it is a heavily modified Mazda RX-7 FD, as I said, a single turbo, big power, which can put those new Porsches, which I also really love, to the test. So, what was the turning point? The turning point was back in 2016. I had a job opportunity and I pretty much took it, and I came and I moved here to Spa. So I left Athens, Greece, and what I was doing until then, which was a bar owner, amongst other things I did before that. For the last 4 years back then, I used to be a bar owner, which was great, and I had a lot of fun, and it was perfect timing regarding the age bracket for that. But then, of course, I decided that I prefer to do what I'm thinking when I'm sleeping and I'm dreaming and I'm sitting on the couch, and that was cars. So I took the job opportunity. It was to work for RSR, one of the most prominent brands here. And then I stayed in that company for 4 years, 2016 to 2019. And then, of course, as I used all that time to really focus my vision and see what parts of the job I liked and what I wanted to focus on doing in the future, then I decided to go independent, and then I decided to do full-time coaching. And after that, of course, I had the opportunity through my coaching days to meet some very good people, and inside and amongst all these good people, I met my partner. And this is after some time how we decided that we're gonna invest in buying some cars and rent them out and make them part of the learning and driving academy part. And this is pretty much how it evolved to what it is now, the winning driven performance company. So why Porsches in particular? Like we discussed in the previous video, I myself am a JDM fanboy, but after doing this professionally for a couple of years, then you get to know what people like, and of course you get to know what is reliable around track. And the Porsches, after having been inside and driven with a lot of cars, are the most credible for this. Let's say they can do this lap after lap, stint after stint, from the morning until the end of the day. And then, what is the most important part is that you can focus, you forget about the car part, and the car part, you know that it's going to be the same from morning until the end of the day. And then you can focus on the driving part, which is what I am looking for. So you can focus on the driver, you can focus on his progress, you can focus on his driving, and that is what we want. And this is the reason why we ended up buying Porsches in the fleet. And of course, they come with their caveats, and of course, they don't have, let's say, the power delivery that a more powerful turbocharged hybrid car has, like the McLarens, like the Ferraris. But then it boils down to what is also reliable, what we said. What are the greatest rewards I get from my work today? What a wonderful question. And again, it goes back to your work being your passion. So my work is my passion and is my reward. And I know it will sound cliche. I made a post recently about this, but they say, make your passion your way of living, let's say, or your profession, and you're not gonna have to work a day in your life. And it's exactly what it is. My biggest reward is the fact that I wake up every day and I do not feel like I'm going to work. Or I wake up in the middle of the night, because I also have 2 kids now and I have to do this. And even when I do that, it doesn't feel like a burden. I really am getting up because I really feel the urge to work and go forward. And of course, then you have the driving part itself. It's the fact that you get to meet people that are here and they are passionate and they are doing their hobby and they're doing something that they like. So it's not like any other job out there, like you go at your office to work. It's you are around happy people that are here to have fun, to drive. You have adrenaline drugs all day long. And of course, it's the actual people you meet. This is another and maybe one of the greatest rewards as well. And this is it. As I said again, I feel very lucky to be able to have this way of life. Challenges. Yeah, of course. The first challenge was leaving Greece. And, you know, this is a leap of faith you have to take. And of course, to know and to hope that everything is going to be fine. So that was the first one, and that was easier. The second one was in 2019, leaving the company, which was the reason that I came here, and going full independent. Because you are in a foreign country, I felt back then, and I still feel like a foreigner here. So it's not like you were born here and you have your friends and you have, a safety net underneath you. But back then, the decision to go independent and believe in my strengths and believe that I can continue with my circle and my knowledge to be able to do this and sustain the way of life that I have here. That was the biggest challenge, I would say. Again, a very cliche, until you take that leap of faith, you don't know how it's going to end, and usually it comes out for the best. And this is exactly what happened, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for everything that has come my way and all the people that I've met, and they're helping me be here and do this. What a great question. And for this last question, let me go back too many years back, in the years before I even studied. Like when I was doing my diploma application and I was still in Greece, I applied for both and I was accepted actually for both mechanical motorsport engineering and business and management. And in the end, I followed the business and management path after a long family discussion, because you know how it is. We all have different opinions, and then giving a lot of weight to my parents' advice, then I chose to follow what they said and to do business and management. And having regret nothing, I say this, I really don't know how much different it would have been if I had followed that path, because when you go a few years forward to now, you get many different skill sets along the way with that diploma, but then you have this gravitational point, which is your passion, which is always in the center. And you might go a little bit further from that core, and you might orbit a little bit around that gravitational point, but this is always there, or at least it had been for me. So my advice to any of you who have a really strong passion about anything, if you have that strong gravitational point, try not to stray too much away from it. Yeah, try to stay there and try to evolve it, learn from it, spend the time, put the hours. If you're young and you have no other obligations, just put the time. Finally, hopefully, like the previous video, you're gonna be rewarded like I am, waking up every day and thinking that you're working, or others telling you you're working and you thinking you're not working. I don't know how to say it, but every day is like a mega day that makes me happy and makes me feel purposeful. So that's it.